This is the $1 million framework for digital products step by step from someone who's made well over $1 million with digital products using this framework step by step. So, look, so many people think that having a successful business online comes down to these two things, which are the product and marketing. And this is the furthest thing from the truth. And this is why so many people struggle to build a successful business online and to build an audience of people that will be buyers of their digital products online. It's because they have this belief system. The product does not matter at all. The marketing does not matter at all. What it really comes down to is problem and brand. Once you get these two down, then it starts to become very, very simple and downright easy to successfully make money online. Now, what do I mean by this? That the digital product doesn't matter at all. What I mean by this is this. People could care less to buy another digital product. People could care less to buy an ebook. People could care less to buy another course. People could care less to download another software. People could care less to get some AI agent, chat GPT, rapper, join the community, whatever it is. That's why the product doesn't matter at all. What people aren't focusing on is isolating a specific problem in the marketplace for a specific person. And that's the key right there. You solve one problem for one individual in the marketplace on one platform until you make $1 million. That's the key. And that is what is so hard for people to actually comprehend because they have shiny object syndrome and think that because they're not seeing instant results that they have to think of a new product or a new trendy thing. That's not the case. You want to focus on obsessing on coming up with a solution to one problem and then brand yourself around that problem that you solve. So you become synonymous with the solution to that problem. Now, I said with that problem, you want to focus on one payphone problem in the marketplace for one person. Well, that one person is what I call your avatar. Now, your avatar, it's not going to be some little monk kid with the arrow in the middle of his head that knows how to harness earth, wind, air, and water to save mankind, or some big blue creatures with tails that they can plug into the planet to become one. Your avatar is your target customer. And I say that with a hard R. This is not plural. This is not customers. You see, when you try to sell stuff to everybody, you typically end up selling to nobody. And it takes people and building an audience of people. And to make this work, you don't have to have the biggest audience either. You just need to have the right audience, right? So you focus on coming up with a solution to a problem for that one avatar. And then you package that solution into a vehicle of that digital product. That's all that a digital product is. That's all that people are buying. People are buying results. People are not buying information. People, they buy transformation. And all that somebody wants to do is go from where they are right now to where they want to be. Our vehicle is what closes this transformation gap right here. That is our digital product. But so many people are thinking of the product first and just making some stuff that they think sounds cool or some stuff that they feel like making when what you think and what you feel is a terrible business decision. People are buying solutions to problems in the marketplace. People are buying results. People are buying transformations. People are buying a new identity. We need to deliver that to them in a vehicle of our digital product. So the problem comes first. Now, why I said that marketing doesn't matter, as somebody that used to do a lot of marketing, I built social media audiences to over 100,000 followers. I quit. It was exhausting. The most amount of money that I spent on paid ads in a single month is a little over $100,000. I found a much better way. And even before I took my business online with what I'm doing now with digital products, communities, and softwares and whatnot, I used to just obsess and think that marketing was the answer. I used to send out direct mail like basically junk mail to people. I used to do hundreds of cold calls each and every single day before I took my business online. I thought that marketing was the answer, just like so many people do. That's why they're always watching all these videos about marketing tactics and strategies and what's working right now. But if you focus on building a solid brand around the problem that you solve, the marketing pretty much takes care of itself. Because think about this, there's four levels of entrepreneurship, kind of just like the avatar that I was saying with the little monk kid with the arrow in the middle of his head, how he had to learn the four elements of earth to become the ultimate warrior to save the planet. It's the same thing that happens with entrepreneurship. There's four basic elements of entrepreneurship if you want to become the ultimate entrepreneur and have your successful business online, right? Now, with that, the foundation of everything, which so many people, including my former self, try to skip, is the brand, the branding. Then you have the marketing, then you have the sales, and then you have delegation here at the top. What so many people are attempting to do, including my former self, this is how I learned all this stuff from doing everything the complete wrongest, and wrongest even isn't even a word, but I was doing it the wrongest, wrongerer way possible, was that I was skipping these steps. And I was thinking, just like so many people, that I was going to start with marketing or sales, or some people are even up here trying to start at delegation when they don't even have any experience at what it is that they are attempting to delegate. So you don't even know if who you're trying to outsource something to is even doing a good job, because you haven't done the job yourself properly yet, right? But if you focus on building a successful, what I call micro niche personal brand, I'm not saying that you have to be out here and become super famous and popular and have so many followers and subscribers and all that type of stuff, but a micro niche personal brand, then the marketing and the sales pretty much takes care of itself, because you market to people who are familiar with the brand, you sell stuff to people that you market to, and then once you have some money coming in, then you can delegate tasks, whether that be through hiring employees, whether that be through hiring virtual assistants, getting better systems, softwares, and automations and whatnot, right? But what I found to be true, since I quit social media, since I quit marketing because I hate social media and I hate marketing, was that if I simply just focus on building a micro niche personal brand, then the marketing and the sales pretty much just takes care of itself, and the delegation as well, because I don't even have the biggest YouTube channel yet, but there's literally not a single day that goes by, and I'm not exaggerating on this, where I don't get multiple emails from people asking me if they can work for me and asking me if they can do tasks for me for free to prove themselves worthy to work for me, whether that be video editors, thumbnail designers, funnel builders, copywriters, people that want to help my better systems on the back end, and they'll set up everything. Like, the brand pretty much takes care of everything, right? And there's also four levels of leverage that humans have used to accumulate wealth since the beginning of time, which are labor, capital, code, and media. We're living in the best time ever in human existence because we all have access to leverage now. Leverage is what builds true wealth. Past ages of mankind, everybody did not have access to leverage. Everybody did not have always have access to human labor, to capital, or to code. But with the advancements in AI and whatnot, here very soon, everybody will have access to code, but everybody has access to media. And if you think about the new rich now, or the new billionaires, how are they becoming it? They're taking brand and they're linking that brand with media. Even the richest guy on the planet right now, Elon Musk, right? They say that he's a trillionaire. Well, how's he doing it? Yeah, he has SpaceX. Yeah, he has Tesla and whatnot. But Elon Musk is the mascot for his companies. And he basically sells promises, and then he attaches his personal brand to that. And then he understands the leverage of media so much that he bought Twitter, turned it into X to leverage media. All right. So we can do the same things for ourselves. So, if we just take it back to the core essence, everything starts with the problem and the brand. Well, what is the best place for us to grow our brand? Like I said, I built over 100,000 followers on social media platforms. I don't know what it is now because I haven't been on social media in a couple years now, but when I quit Instagram, I had 120 something thousand followers. When I quit TikTok, I had like 14 or 15,000 followers. Like I said, in the past, the most amount of money that I spent on ads is a little over $100,000. I quit all of that to build up a micro niche YouTube channel from absolute scratch. Think about where you spend all your time learning. YouTube is the best place to build a brand. Why? Because everybody that has all these problems, where do they go to look up and search for solutions to those problems? They don't go to Instagram for that. They don't go to TikTok for that. They don't go to X or Threads. Where do they go? They all come to YouTube. Even people that do want to learn how to grow on short form social media platforms, they don't go on those platforms to learn. They type that stuff into the YouTube search bar and they do that. All right. So the way that we leverage our YouTube is that everything starts off with our avatar, right? Our target customer that we're going to help. And if this is possible for you, I'm not saying that this is something that you have to do. But this makes stuff way easier for me. This is what makes stuff way easier for the members of my community. And this is what I've been doing since day one in my entrepreneurial, contentpreneurial journey is that everything that I do, whether it be productization or content creation that will lead somebody to my products, is that I only help my past self. My avatar is simply just me from 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, a decade ago, because as of right now, the time of me recording this video, I've been a full-time entrepreneur since April 1st, 2016. That's when I fired my job, right? But everything starts off with our avatar. So with our YouTube channel, all that we're going to do is simply just make content for our avatar. And like I said, you don't have to do this, but if possible, if you just make stuff for your past self, all this stuff, it just becomes a lot easier. And we only make our content for our avatar. What's going to happen is that the algorithm will start to categorize our content. You'll start to become known for something. Therefore, the algorithm will know who to place your content in front of. So many people out here trying to be content creators, they struggle because their page, their channel is all over the place. And each individual asset, each individual video that you post on YouTube, it's looking for an audience for that video nonstop. People that aren't getting views on YouTube or the views that they would like to get, and they say, oh, YouTube doesn't work. I say, go to your analytics and check your impressions. I guarantee you're getting impressions. An impression is just an eyeball, not a view, but an eyeball. That means that YouTube is showing your video to people trying to find your audience. The problem is that they're not clicking it. And if somebody does click it and you have so much random stuff about so many different things, well, YouTube is going to show that video to that person. And guess what? They're not going to click it because it's not something that they're interested in or something similar to what it is that you previously made. So they're going to skip over it. But when you consistently show up and you make content for your one avatar about the problems that they have, you're going to start to become an authority within the marketplace, and YouTube would now know who to place your content in front of, which will lead to the algorithm using its organic traffic sources, which is the home page, the search bar, the suggested tab, external traffic from Google, because Google owns YouTube, and external traffic from people getting value from you and sharing your content. I don't even have the biggest channel yet, but on a weekly basis, my content gets shared thousands of times because people get value from it and they share my stuff with other people that they feel will get value from my content as well. That's an organic traffic source, which is going to lead to YouTube placing your content in front of more people that fit your avatar's profile. So from that, then we have our offers or our digital product, which we position our digital product, keyword here, as an offer, and we simply just offer to help somebody on a deeper level, or we simply just position our offer as a logical next best step to whatever the information and the content is that they consume. And by nature, once what I call the double B starts to kick into effect, which stands for the binge and buy effect, people are going to watch video after video after video of yours. People are going to start to know you. Then they're going to start to like you. Then they're going to start to trust you because we're living in the trust economy right now. There's been a study that says, I believe the study was done by Google. On average, it takes somebody 7 hours to make a purchasing decision. This is why YouTube is so powerful, also, because it will take a long time on other platforms for somebody to get this 7 hours in with you to build that trust because people are buying stuff in the trust economy and in this information age where information is readily available and abundant, but people are drowning in a sea of information. They're looking for trusted authorities around a certain expertise, right? And I'm not saying each and every single time it's going to take somebody 7 hours, but it does take a little bit of time for somebody to start to trust you, right? So here we'll make the offer. Then somebody will get their transformation. Remember, people buy transformation, not information, which will lead to them becoming an evangelist for you. An evangelist is just an ambassador. All right, think about this. This is human nature. Just how I said, one of the organic traffic sources that I get is thousands of people sharing my content each week. That's just how we're wired as human beings. This is human psychology. When we receive something of good value, by nature, we run and tell other people about it. That's called evangelism or just being an ambassador, right? Which will lead to more people getting your offer. So this here is a flywheel effect. If you're not familiar with the flywheel, these two flywheels work together and you start to get this compounding effect to whereas it may take a little bit of time to start going, but as time goes, the past inertia, the past effort that you put in your past work will start compounding with your current work and your future work as well. And you'll get this delicious cinnamon roll effect of a business happening while you have a micro niche YouTube channel growing because YouTube is the only evergreen platform as well. It's not about the video that you post today, it's what that video that you post today can be doing for weeks, months, and literal years to come. And you'll have a business compounding as well. But with this, everything, the foundation of everything is your problem. And then you branding yourself around your content. But what type of content do we make here on YouTube to build out this flywheel? Good question, my friend. That's why you're at the right place at the right time. I call it epic expert content. Now, the problem that a lot of creators are doing is that they're just sticking to one of these sides instead of combining both of them, right? So, most people, what I call content creators, are just making epic content. Now, epic, the E stands for entertaining. Most content creators are just trying to entertain people. Well, guess what? It's hard to make it in the entertainment business, but you do need to have some type of entertaining aspect to your content. I'm not saying that you got to be out here doing a bunch of goofy stuff, but that's why you need to know who it is that you're speaking to. So you know what is entertaining to them. I'm not saying that you have to heavily lean on the entertainment side, but you got to have a little bit there, or people, they'll just click off your video, right? The P stands for personalized. This is why avatar again kicks in. We got to know who it is that we're talking to. The I stands for irrefutable. Now, something that will really help you, and something that helps me, and something that helps all the members of my community, is that you're able to speak confidently on camera when you know for a fact that you're speaking from irrefutable facts. How is that? It's because I only talk about things that I actually know. And how do I know what I know? Because I've done it, I've gone through it. Right. So I don't care what people say in the comments. I don't care what little he say, she say, the little whispers are, because I've lived through it. I don't tell you what I think. I tell you what I know. I don't tell you any theory. I tell you facts, from irrefutable facts from my actual lived through experience what has worked, what hasn't worked for me, or what has worked, what hasn't worked for members within my community, because I have a community of contentpreneurs where I help them increase their income, impact, and influence online with digital products through a micro niche YouTube channel. And then the C stands for clear, right? You need to be able to speak clearly about what it is that you do in a concise message. The thing that you should always be working on is your communication skills, which is why YouTube is so great too, because what other place can you go to where you can consistently communicate to the marketplace? Now, the E on the expert side stands for educate. Like I said, a lot of people, they're just sticking to one side of these. So here, a lot of content creators are sticking to, and then here, a lot of educators or people trying to be sell info products stick to just teaching people, right? But they don't have the two together. Now, the X stands for experience, which kind of goes hand in hand with the irrefutable, right? You can speak from irrefutable facts if you're speaking from your experience. Now, the P stands for problem solving. Remember, the foundation of everything is not the product, it's the problem that we solve. So we consistently show up in our content showing people that we have obsessed on coming up with solutions to their problems more than they have, then they'll start to trust in our authority and expertise around that problem that we solve. The E stands for execute. You don't want to have somebody's attention and not give them something that they can instantly execute on and get a fast win. The R stands for relevant to pain. And this is big because it's always going to be easier to draw someone away from their pain than to lead them towards their pleasure. And then the T stands for take action. When you have somebody's attention, you don't want to miss out on the opportunity to have some type of CTA, and CTA stands for call to action, to whereas they can take action as a logical next best step to whatever it is that you just educated them about, or whatever it is that you just talked about, or whatever it is that your video and your content is about. Now, that can be a call to action to a freebie that you're giving away as a lead magnet to build up your email list. That can be a direct call to action to a low ticket digital product. That could be a call to action to a automated webinar that you're doing to sell something on the back end. That can be a call to action to join a community, or that can just be a call to action to watch a next video to where you can keep them in your ecosystem on YouTube to build up that binge and buy effect. But when you have somebody's attention, you always want to give them some type of call to action to where they can take action from whatever it is that you just communicated with them while you hold their attention. Now, this is the epic expert side of things, and this is the only type of content that we create in this flywheel towards we'll start to build the right audience of 100% of the right people that are all perfect candidates for whatever the digital product is that we are offering to the marketplace. Now, with this is the framework, but you need to create a system for yourself. And system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. Towards the system can do a big brunt of the work for you so you get your time back and you can make more while working less, because our time is limited. But money is an infinite resource, and we need to have something to whereas we can take our time away from the money that we make so we can actually scale our income and do what we want to do when we want to do it, how we want to do it on our own time. So go ahead and check out this video for the step-by-step process to build out your system, saving yourself time, energy, and money from this framework.